everybody. It is so beautiful to see everyone here with one of my favorite buildings in all of New York State, right behind all of you beautiful people. Thank you so much for coming out. I want to ask you guys something. What do you think about fracking? Well, that was a pretty simple answer. It wasn't that complicated. Pretty clear. Let me ask you something else. Which was the first state to ban fracking? Vermont! Who's our favorite Vermonter? That's right! Let me ask you one more thing. Has New York State banned fracking? Well, sort of. They banned fracking drilling. But even though they banned drilling in New York State, there are 19 new frack gas pipeline projects planned in the Northeast right now. 15 of them will cross New York State. That's not even counting fracked oil projects, which are also proposed for New York State. That's just frack gas. And though we don't have drilling in New York State, these projects directly support fracking in our neighboring states, like mostly Pennsylvania. We know what's happened to Pennsylvania, right? Those are our neighbors. These projects in New York State have already introduced hundreds of thousands of tons of VOCs into our skies. They are chopping our forests down. They're polluting our rivers and streams. They're harming our wildlife. They're taking people's property from them to build these projects. They have already poisoned New York communities and forced people to abandon their homes. These projects explode with unprecedented force because of their size. One of them is currently being built right next to Indian Point nuclear power plant. Does that sound like a good idea to you? No, it's a terrifying idea. Maybe worst of all, fracking infrastructure projects in New York State and around the country are responsible for massive loads of methane releases from leaks from the pipes and the massive compressor stations required to push that frack gas. The U.S. has been responsible for 30 to 60% of the global growth in methane emissions since 2002. And 30% of that spike is from fracking. Boom! This is not a bridge fuel. Natural gas is not clean burning. Methane kills locally and is speeding climate change around the world. So why am I telling all of this to you now? Because there's just one candidate who gets that this is a problem. Who is it? There's just one candidate who has the audacity to tell the truth about fracking. Who is it? There's only one candidate who recognizes that we are already in the middle of a climate crisis. Who is it? That's right, Bernie. And when he visited us this week in New York, he made his strongest statement against fracking yet. In our town, a whole little humble town of Binghamton, a town that has been on the front lines of the fracking war in New York State, Bernie told us he wants to put an end to fracking nationwide. Because he understands how dangerous it is. And like so many other dangerous things, Bernie seems to understand that no other candidate does seem to understand. Bernie said something else in Binghamton this week. He said, thank you. He thanked all the New Yorkers who stood up to the fossil fuel industry. He thanked all the New Yorkers who made demands of Governor Cuomo. He applauded all people who stand up and demand to be heard. That's us, right? So I came here today to tell you, my beautiful fellow humans, we are in the middle of a paradigm shift right now. We are reclaiming our personal power for a system that has taught us to be powerless. We are hearing our own voices again instead of being silenced by a system that's taught us how to be tame. Bernie has ignited our spirits, but he is not responsible for the burn. We are. Bernie has set us in a new direction, but we must walk the path to turn together, we will. And just like the New Yorkers Bernie thanked this week, I see here right now in Albany people who believe in what's right, people who know they can make a difference, people who are taking responsibility for their world. You, people who have committed to doing the work to make all of our lives better. So over the next 2.5 days before the primary, while you are busy making sure that Bernie wins New York State, and during all the days after Bernie wins the New York primary, while you're busy making sure he wins the general election, keep in mind when we all believe in what's right without wavering, when we all love ourselves enough to say enough is enough, when we all decide at the same time, I am going to do something to right the wrongs around me, I am going to stop waiting for someone else to do it, then we will win. And as we keep working toward ensuring that Bernie becomes the next president of the United States, keep in mind, your dedication and determination means everything. It may literally be the difference between everything and nothing, because we have to elect a president who will stop fracking. We have to elect a president that will aggressively tackle climate change right now. Keep in mind, you might just be saving the planet by choosing to believe in your own power. It's funny how that works. And after Bernie is inaugurated as our 45th president of the United States of America, let's keep loving ourselves. Let's reignite a passionate love affair with this planet that has never stopped loving us. Let's stick together. Let's do the tough collective work and lifting we need to do to fix this country. Can we do that? I think we can do it. But first, let's deliver our New York pride to Senator Bernie Sanders'